And then I have Wendy the sheep. She's cute. And now I have Frigga the penguin.
Yeah, no, I have 3 penguins, a dog, an elephant, and an ostrich. And I'm running a smear campaign against my most recent penguin. It has 2 jocks, and I cannot abide. So every time someone comes to my town, I'm like, if you see a penguin in a Letterman jacket and he's trying to like engage with you, you avoid him at all costs. Do not speak to him. Do not be around him. I want him to understand that he is not welcome here and he needs to leave.
You can do that?
So,
say hello, Internet.
hello.
You can like talk against other people in the town and basically be like, you don't like this person.
Yeah. You could go to Isabel and be like, I don't like the way he dresses. I think he talks shit.
One more sentence.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay. That's so weird.
You can totes talk shit about your villagers.
Yeah, you go talk to Isabel, and she goes, "Oh, are you having a problem with someone?" And you go, "Yes." Let me tell you about this shit.
And then she's like, "What? What's the problem?" And I'm like, "I fucking hate him."
And it's like, Isabel, you adorable saint.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about some shit ass people.
Someone's never been swirlied before. But with karaoke skills like hers, why would you ever be swirlied?
I don't have any of the things I need.
Oh, are you having a problem with someone? This bitch.
Okay.
This bitch right here.
This is me.
Just the notebook, or do you need the binder?
Just notebook. I have the right one here.
All right. You need anything else from over here?
No.
All right.
Ask me if I'm ever going to open it during this entire session.
No.
No. Tell me how you really feel.
That's a long-suffering groan there.
We already started. Okay. So, you guys are all dead.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
So the last thing I've got on my notes is that that Pippa was going to do a performance tomorrow evening for this camp of like really like starved for female attention dudes.
Yeah.
It'll make me feel better about myself real fucking fast.
I mean, they're definitely all about that right now, it looks like. Yep. Oh, and I don't know if was it all the people that were in the cult or just those 2 that visited us, or 3?
They're not in a cult. I think they're just joining a native group.
Either way, they have very strong faith or something like that.
Well, I got they're part of a cult / order of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. That's what I wrote too. I only had that it was the brother.
I understood it differently, that the guy was marrying into like a native family.
I'm not sure those things are like related, but whatever. I mean,
no.
Okay.
I mean, the Malkavian is the one that wrote this down.
The microphone is all the way over there, and regardless of how well it picks me up, I think that because it's so far over there that I need to project to reach it.
Yeah, you guys are the quietest out of everybody.
Yeah, just to let you know. You.
Oh, really?
Me?
Yeah, just Tony.
The 2 of you.
That's surprising. I'm usually the quietest.
Okay.
I don't believe it.
You all are lying, apparently.
I don't know.
I think that, okay, so Bill has a new best friend.
Sorry, I was going to say, I had that it was John and Daniel, the brothers, with the red hair, were a part of the Cult Order Secret Society. Not Joe. Just John.
Oh,
and
so
Daniel.
John and Daniel and Nacho.
Yeah.
Nacho coat. Sorry.
That's what I got.
Yep. Hmm.
Internet, how are you enjoying a weekly detangling session, trying to figure out?
I wonder if we even actually pick up any subscribers. Not everyone's sheltering.
It doesn't fucking matter.
We did. Some weirdo named B. Ass Butler subscribed to the channel.
Oh, you mean that weirdo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Be ass butler.
Yeah. I mean,
Ass butler.
take that as you will.
Big ass butler. All right, I got it.
Ass Butler, I guess he tends to fish. I don't know. It's a weird.
Yep.
Ass butler may or may not be the porn I want to watch. I don't know.
It's a musician fish with the big butt.
Be the porn you want to see in the world.
That's right.
The wailing begins.
Oh no, I hear screaming children and I don't know if it's Lisa or our house.
I think it's Lisa. It's here too, and it's not here.
Yeah, I think it's George.
Okay.
It is fight for my life. I'm not tired. Leave me alone. Time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, it did not sound distressed.
No, he's just. Well, actually, he's probably trying to sit on Io, which Io will not abide. So
sit on him like he's a pillow, or sit on him like a steed.
No, Io's much smaller, and she is neurotic. So George tries to sit next to her and lean on her. And Io is just absolutely fucking not.
I didn't think the size of the steed had any context for George, so that's why I was.
Well, I mean, if he stood over her, she wouldn't touch. She's a pugwawa. She's a tiny thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the next night falls, and you all awaken to gunshots and screaming.
Oh God!
And
why are you like this?
Blazes of fire and whooping. So crank off that blood point or two to rouse your corpses into action, and you regain a willpower point for those of you who actually use them.
Did you say whooping?
Yeah, whooping. WHOOPING.
Say cool. Say whip. Say cool whip.
Whooping, as in we're about to give the people who attacked the camp a good old whooping.
I think it's more of a ululation.
Oh, now we're doing the vocab.
I like that word.
I do too.
Right?
Also like undulation.
Yeah, it's right there at the bottom corner of the screen. Yeah.
What they're all all the vowels.
He's prominently featured. He's dangling a little though,
Oh yeah, no, this box is back full. Oh, you mean
no,
back here?
Yeah.
He dangling.
Oh, I see his head now.
Yeah.
Whoops, there will be.
Who the fuck am I? Okay.
So as you
Why is this so annoying?
it's a party, Miss Allen.
Are we dead?
Yes.
That's a relative thing, Miss Allen.
Okay, just striking.
What you sass me, boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this too much? Too much?
You can put
Oh, yeah.
more now that he's removed himself.
No, I was kicking over everything like you usually do. Is this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So Miss Allen knows what's going on because her trusty valet Theo.
I was gonna say, I
Did you
assume
say it was a party?
Yes.
Patty or Jean-Pierre wake me up.
Yes, as Pip arises, yes, either Jean-Pierre or Patty Patricia would assure you that yes, the wedding happened today.
Oh,
Do the shooting.
We're out in the boonies. That's how people celebrate.
how American! What a complete waste of ammunition.
So there's no fighting?
Not yet.
If they're drinking enough, they might still be fighting.
Outside. What's outside?
Yeah, as
Miss Allen actually goes outside because she knows it's safe. Relatively.
as suggested, beyond the line of your wagons, the camp has turned into a regular bacchanalian delight. There's drinking and shouting and singing and shooting and bonfires all over the place. Men dancing arm in arm. And underneath the shouting, there's actually a small chorus line of men at the picket line singing love songs at your wagon train.
At our wagon train?
Yes.
Where the ladies are.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
All the ladies.
Yes. Except
Good
for
thing
one fool on the end who keeps trying to turn it into Camptown races.
no, but I don't know those people.
Hannah does not like any of this. She's just like, what is happening? No.
After finishing her toilette, Pippa comes out like, my people, they're singing.
Everyone's having so much fun.
I mean, sort of.
In my brain, this is like a Five Goes West moment when his sister's like, I'm gonna sing in the saloon.
And then get almost eaten by a spider.
I mean, I almost got eaten by a spider in the last place. Just saying.
You know that fucking lady eats people. You know.
Some of you also notice Lou. As Lou sees some of you come around, him and Joseph. Joseph, and do we have a name? Do I care? Maybe.
I mean, there's Daniel. Is Daniel with the name?
No.
No, different. Our Joseph. We don't have a Daniel. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Craig. Gary. Frank.
We already have enough Frank.
Aloysius.
Someone was named that.
Was named Aloysius?
Yeah.
Tyler.
And I don't remember that. Oh well.
So Joseph and Lou come over.
I'm trying to help, damn it.
It's fine. And they're like, we should get going like tonight, if not tomorrow night. Someone in camp approached Joseph today saying that if he was being held under some sort of compulsion, that there were people in camp ready to help.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Maybe we should leave today.
Wait, what?
Oh, that doesn't sound
Jesus Christ. No.
Hannah looks at him and is like, ooh, said this to Joseph.
He holds up a piece of scratchy paper and he says, I got a note.
Does the note have a name?
No.
I lick it.
But
Okay.
What does it taste like?
does it taste good? Can I lick it?
Tastes like paper.
No, it actually tastes like gross armpit.
It tastes like gross armpit.
Yeah.
Hannah makes that face that your cat does when it gets a stink face.
Is there any other?
Doesn't it taste good?
No, tastes awful. Tastes like a disgusting human. Not even like a great human. It tastes like a
Oh,
gross
you were
human.
looking for a code like the other one.
No,
Oh.
just wanted to see if I could ascertain who it belonged to by simply licking the letter.
Well, Frankie's rubbing off on Hannah. All right.
It's a weird
I
method.
was hoping to develop.
I feel
Yeah.
like you should have at least smelled it for like a cologne or something. But taste is fine.
There are 5 senses.
Yeah.
Was it specific, so it was specifically directed towards Joseph, or did it say like anyone in the camp who was being held against their will?
No, the letter says if you're being held in compulsion against your will, let us know. -the order.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Vampire hunters.
yeah.
Yay.
So just
Maybe it's
as
not
a
a good
note,
idea that fucker's taking letters to my husband.
yeah, I was about to say one of those guys is like on the same route that we are. Which
Right.
one was it? Was it Joe or
The
Dan?
brothers.
No, but only one of the brothers. I didn't think it was
Well,
both.
Yeah.
both brothers in the wife, I thought.
Oh, it was John.
Mhm.
No, it was just one. It was just John.
Yeah, because he's the one that got married.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Wait, isn't there something we can roll to figure out
Fucking
what
hunters.
it is?
Who rolls? What do we want to roll?
Or maybe Auspex, isn't there a dot of Auspex that lets you figure out who bundled an item? I just looked at that because I was trying to see what to spend my dots on.
No, I think that's a higher level dot in something, but no, I think I know what you're talking about.
That's the third one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Does
have
anyone
the
have
third
that?
dot in Auspex. Am I here?
Does it do the thing? I don't know.
Are
I
you?
kind of got
Like,
up and
Yeah, did you wander out?
yes,
I thought
she's
you
ready
came out
to she's ready to sing a song to her people. What was that, Megan?
Nothing. It's not
You said
I
important.
was happy to go out and sing. People were singing. I wanted to sing too. I'm in the best mood I've been in like a month.
Well, now they're gonna try and kill us.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for harshing my high.
Well,
That's how this game works. We can never be too happy. It means we're about to die.
Centaur.
I mean, it's
It was never happy anymore.
not everybody is the order, I think. I wouldn't know.
It only takes one.
Are these people mean?
With our luck, it's gonna be a descendant of fucking Bleedy McPriesterson.
God damn
You
it.
know what I was thinking.
Auspex third dot, when someone handles an object for a length of time, they leave a psychic impression on it. Yes, I can touch the paper and figure it out.
Yes.
He was
Yeah,
he
touch
was-
the paper.
Bleeding
he was from the Dark Ages game.
Hence
They,
these people gathered and having a tense conversation. She comes over to find out what it is.
We tell her, and I was like, we may have to kill John.
Oh. All right. Can I see the note?
Did he do something bad?
We'll find out.
Yes.
So, Tony, what am I rolling to see whose spirit is left on this note?
Perception plus empathy.
Thank you.
Wait for the one that sings magic.
How do I not have more empathy? What the fuck? Difficulty?
6.
Do it.
2.
Yes.
You see you sort of get this impression of a man.
I would think yes.
He looked
Good
like a
job.
man. Thank you, Tony.
Well, now we know we've eliminated about half the population.
Because you don't get much, you don't get many details. You just get the impression of a masculine entity, of bearing of someone in charge, and you would say that it's almost
It's
Frederick
almost-
adjacent.
Frederick adjacent?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Does Frederick adjacent mean?
That's what I want to know.
Like you would,
Didn't he
you would
leave
almost
already?
say, you would almost say it was someone like Frederick, but it's obviously not the same signature. You would know.
But wait, like as in similar nationalities, ethnicity, whatever, or like clan?
With 2 dots, I don't know.
Mean 2 successes?
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Anyway, Tasha would not be asking these questions because she just wouldn't. Tasha. She wants to lick the paper.
I don't recommend it unless you like.
Pip offers it to her.
human.
Let the child figure it out for herself.
Just saying, I don't recommend it.
Lou's like, yeah.
Lick like a corner.
Well, regardless of who wrote this, I think we should, get the hell out of Dodge. Or what is that
We
your
flee
phrase?
suddenly
That's a phrase,
before
yeah.
we said we were going to. Isn't that
I
going
mean,
to more alarm?
It's not what I'm really familiar with. But
Nah.
Yeah, Lou's like, if anyone else licks this thing, I'm not taking it back. Joseph nods.
I licked it and it was gross.
Yes, dear. Yes.
Both Lou and Joseph nod as if you came up with something really revelatory.
Russ kind of leans over to you and is like, did they always go about licking paper and stuff like this? Is this a normal thing?
I don't question it anymore.
What's normal?
Especially when
Open your mind. Open your horizons.
Oh, yeah.
As I am a fan of getting away from what could potentially be vampire hunters, or something of a similar ilk, I do think that if we picked up and ran away right now, it might also alert people, as if we were hiding something. Just a thought.
Wow, there was so much silence.
I thought we were headed out anyways. Like,
You're
I thought our
not
plan was
right.
to leave. Oh, was it not supposed to be tonight? Were we giving ourselves a day?
I mean, we had made plans to go. I had made plans to go into town.
Okay.
So they're
Yeah,
expecting.
you made like an advertisement or something. You like told
Oh.
people.
I mean, yeah, I just told them like, oh, I want to sing, and they're like, oh, let us know beforehand so we can like put some fucking security because people are crazy. We want to regulate it.
Yeah,
And
tomorrow evening, which would be now, basically,
Yeah.
right?
exactly.
I mean, to be fair, we could just say that the gallivanting offended your feminine sensibilities and we had to leave. Because there are.
Joseph's hand has been up the entire time, and as soon as Bill starts saying that, he slowly points at Bill.
Yes, Joseph?
What's the feminine sensibility?
You'll
We'll
know
tell you
when
when
you're
you're older.
older, dear.
We'll tell you tomorrow when you're someone else.
AKA, yeah.
Joseph nods in agreement with Bill, like, yeah, we could just tell them that the women folk were so overtaken with the expression that, yeah.
Hannah wants to leave tonight, unless we're gonna start murdering camp people.
Which we don't know who anything is, so there's no reason for us to really do that.
I mean, Hannah is just in favor of murdering all humans, so.
I mean,
If you murder all humans, we'll have nothing left to eat.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very. Oh wait, I wouldn't say that. Damn.
Russ is mostly just in favor of doing whatever keeps Annie not out of harm's way. So, you know.
Knives.
Miss Allen, you're sounding fuck.
Look at it, Miss Allen, look at it this way. If there's vampire hunters already here, if we kill everybody, including those vampire hunters, then other vampire hunters are going to be like, oh, shit, there's vampires. We should find them now. Which will put even more people on our tail. So I think we should leave quietly, because I feel like we have enough reasons to do so in the first place.
Oh no, I was all for leaving quietly. I was just saying if we were planning on staying, we should kill them. But since we're not, and we were planning on leaving, then that's totally fine. We can live.
This is so very Sabat of you. My goodness.
Ooh, that's bad.
She looks at you was like
everything goes entirely quiet. We're like,
you just said it out of character.
Joseph's hand goes up again, and Lou also looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sabat's the, you know what?
Oh right, no, yeah. I was thinking of the other thing. Never mind. Sorry. No, I was thinking of Kindred, not Sabat. Never mind.
The NPCs are still concerned.
Yeah.
I just think the Sabat is bad.
Joseph's like, what's a Sabat?
Someone that wants to run around and kill everything because we're the better species.
They're really bad.
Joseph puts his hand down.
No, we won't be killing anyone, Miss Allen.
Tonight. We won't be killing anyone tonight is what she means.
Joseph goes, I gotta go. And,
Joseph.
Well,
and Lou's like, yeah.
I would never kill you.
We can start to make preparations to leave, and then I can talk to our folks, and we'll keep a closer watch to make sure we're not getting followed.
Yeah, while you all discuss this, Abe, I can.
Do you want me to go out and think
together?
What's that?
I said, while y'all are discussing all this, Abe, I can help you all get the provisions together. We can start making sure we're good to go. Seems like Mr. Allen has some other ideas about what's going to happen. So
I don't know what everyone's talking about. I only said if we were staying. That sounds like we're leaving.
Like we already said we were leaving. You didn't have to bring up killing people.
Well, it sounded like some people were thinking about possibly staying.
Maybe we should, I don't know, find someone to kill?
Well,
she really wants to so bad.
You're not at this time.
Well, I wouldn't get in the middle of that right now. You're going to come and help me prep. And I would appreciate the help, Russ. If you want to assist, I'd love the help.
Yeah. I'll help you take care of that stuff. The
doctor place to be right now.
Tony, the guys from the doctor's like tent or whatever. I got that the meds and the jar of candy right from those guys.
Oh yeah, they showed up already, and it helps a lot. Like there's a mint quality to it that would really annoy you if you had Auspex turned on. But it soothes her real well. It really helps with the symptoms.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, as the decision seems to be, we leave tonight. Joseph has already removed himself from the conversation, and Lou also is like, "I'm gonna get everyone moving then," and sort of excuses himself from the conversation as well. His horse sort of lingers regarding all of you for a moment, and then follows Lou.
That horse is more than it seems to be, isn't it?
Oh yes, it very much is.
Oh yeah, we're pretty sure. Yeah.
That's an empty delusion.
So when she has something on her mind, and are we certain that thing can't talk?
Well, I'm sure it does. I mean, I think it's just as much Faye as Lou. Oh Oh, you don't know. Lou's a bit fey.
What I mean, ma'am, I believe that's kind of impolite to say about a person.
He's not here to defend himself.
My brain is trying really hard to remember your name.
Mr. McDaniel.
Thank you. Mr. McDaniel, I'm saying that his heritage has some background in fair folk. Fairies.
Everything's lying.
You're playing with me. The fairies don't exist.
Silence.
Well, I'm gonna go elsewhere for a while.
Oh, I guess I'm leaving.
Harry looks at you
As
still
I'm
sideways.
leaving, Mr. Sterling, are you going to still sing? And then I dragged away.
Russ was not around when all that other
We
bullshit.
know.
I know,
happened.
that's why.
But we're all just like, blink.
What? Wait.
Being that way, they are everywhere, and if they think you are disrespecting them, they will not continue their truce with us.
Yeah, apologize before something else happens.
Oh wait, you're all being.
Trees and snowmen.
Fucking serious.
Many apologies to all of you. You're just like looking around. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean nothing by it.
Clap.
Bill is gonna milk that for everything that's worth. You get a scream in place a few times.
Pip goes off in search of some cream and bread. Shit.
Over your shoulder. That's.
Like Delia walks by and is like, "Oh, fucking fairies! Oh, again, all right," and then walks up.
It's a precaution. Mr. McDaniel is running.
Yeah. Russ is a little dumbfounded at the moment, so.
I'm gonna go check on my dying wife. Y'all are crazy.
Y'all seeing fairies and shit.
Y'all need Jesus.
You guys are assholes. I'm leaving.
So Pip is making a play to go out and be faint and I just can't go on, to get rid of the people with her sensibilities.
Sure. The camp mobilizes fairly quickly. It's a muscle at this point. It just reflexes out. Everything's piled in and packed up, and Lou starts leading the crew out and around the edge of the party. And there's a lot of it. So you guys weave through a few trees and you make your way down into this ravine of sorts along the creek that runs down. And it's only a few hours till you guys are in the thick of wood and you're trying to wiggle across the stream, over it, around through the redwoods and pines. Hey, guess what? We need to make some manipulation or dexterity plus drive or animal kin.
Everyone?
Whoever's driving a cart.
Theo?
Yeah.
And if you want to try and convince me of using some other stat, all ears.
Does that mean I have to roll for Jean-Pierre again?
I'll roll for Theo.
Got
You want to
I'd rather not, because I don't know.
all right, roll for Jean-Pierre again.
What's
I'm
the
going to
difficulty?
Tosh to drive.
This is
No.
Does not sound like a thing you want.
It's not rough terrain, it's just close terrain.
Difficulty?
Uh-oh.
6.
Horrible.
3
Nope.
successes.
Really
That's good. Russ,
Willpower on it.
Do it.
Got 0.
We got a 0.
Yep.
just a flat 0?
Yep.
Flat 0.
Nice. All right. 3, groovy. Theo's cart with Miss Allen, just fine. 2, you get scratched up. The wheels are a little janky. When you get to some lower land, you're probably going to want to swap those out, or next time you guys break camp. With the straight 0, the wagon gets wedged between 2 trees.
I'm moving.
Oh, this colonist. Wait a second.
He's just the funny words when he's mad.
Hey, can I push one of those trees over?
Yeah.
Oh,
Make a strength plus athletics and add that sweet fort bonus.
yeah.
Or
I'm
potent.
gonna do the same.
9. What's the difficulty?
5. It's a tree.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Nice. I got 5.
Yeah, between the two of you, you're like, maybe we should just do this with all the trees.
Right?
Hey, I think this tree
I'm
is
thinking about it.
Well, I didn't
John
mean-
Henry this shit?
You just have the burliest Canaanites at the front, just like, yeah.
Just
Right.
punching trees out of the way.
Just leaning on trees.
Fuck you,
Thank
tree.
you, Russ. I don't know why I tried to thread the needle on this one. I did.
Yeah. These wagons aren't exactly the most nimble of things.
You're really strong.
Yeah, I mean,
You're like 8 feet tall.
yeah, I'm like, what did I say? Like 7'5" or something like that. Something stupid
Yeah.
tall.
Wow. So you're like giant dad.
You come into
Hey, my fault, I'm the biggest and the strongest. I don't even exercise.
it's sort of a plateau land out of the dense trees as you come down elevation, and you come along another creek as you're about to start up into another stretch of hills. It's early morning. You guys can probably push past this settlement and camp up in the other set of hills, or you can stop here for the night, or for the day rather.
What if we stop here? Is it really like, I don't know, precarious?
No, but if you stop here for the day, you guys can restock on anything that got used or lost or spoiled in the last night.
I mean, we did leave in a rush.
True enough.
Can probably fix those wheels, that sort of thing.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
My cot's fine. I don't know what.
Yeah, I got one of the back wheels on mine is a little loose. Probably could
Yeah, I
use
got a
a little
wonky
stuff.
We got stuck in trees.
Yeah. Thank you for the reminder.
So
So we're
circle up, make camp.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're gonna camp and tend to what we need to tend to. Once we actually make camp, I think Abe will take whoever wants to go and do a little scouting. Actually, from where we came, just to make sure that nobody's following.
Okay, scouting. I'm just gonna hide and follow.
So if you want to come along, you can.
Do you know if I'm coming along?
Yeah, would she ask?
Yeah, that's the problem.
So yeah, Dex plus stealth or Dex plus survival, depending on your approach, to track back and scout.
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth it, and I'm turning on obfuscate too.
Nice.
Do we see a difficulty?
No, not yet.
Difficulty 5.
Okay.
8 as well.
As you sort of range back up the trail, you find a small. They're like stepping stones, but they're drunken men from the settlement. A few of them still humming the same love song, but off key at different points, like a round that's gone wrong.
They're just going the same way we are.
Yeah.
They will
They're
not
not
likely.
necessarily following us.
Yeah, they will not likely make it to you ever. One of them might get lost and go the right way, but yeah.
Man, now Tasha really wants to play pranks.
That's okay, girl. That's how they play the prank on themselves.
Ooh, can we do the thing where we put their hand in warm water?
Draw dicks on their faces. Get some like a charcoal, like a tree branch. Draw dicks on their face.
Can we move them so that they're like much closer together?
Ooh, yeah, wake up in a warm male embrace. Yeah.
Happy.
I'll help you. That'll give them a right fright.
Okay.
I don't know. That might make a couple of them kind of wistful. They'll be like, why can't we only do this at weddings?
I mean, do we have to roll anything? Because they seem really pretty drunk.
Manipulation plus expression.
Expression, huh? Well, I
Yes.
manipulation.
Yeah, you roll that. I rolled the string to just move them.
Online, but it's an
This effort.
Difficulty 7.
I got 2.
I don't have that on
Yeah, you have acting. That's why.
Oh, okay. I guess this
I
is.
got 3.
You got 3?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, 2 for me, 2 for John.
That is enough. You managed to couple up a few of them, and somehow the proximity doesn't help at all for the singing.
Okay, I sneak away laughing quietly.
Hey, who knows? You might have done some good. There might be some admissions come morning.
So as you guys make it back to camp, just scant minutes before dawn, some of you who have stayed back at camp to tend to one or two things, Lou has reported back that you guys are outside of Angels Creek. Is the camp that you guys are parked outside of, and they'll finish provisioning and make sure everything's ready to go first dark tomorrow night.
Good on you, Lou.
What was that?
I said, good on you, Lou.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's part of the job. You guys call it a night, and there's nothing but darkness. And then you wake up again. And that's another blood point. It's another willpower point.
Pip is feeding today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 from each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And a few of you here, Lou, being like, "Oh well, yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't think that'd be a problem. I mean, you know, if you guys, outpace us and get there ahead of us, like, you know, as as was discussed, that sounds fine. And then you hear an unfamiliar voice be like, yeah, that's also, congratulations again. I'm gonna be on my way if it seems like the leaders aren't gonna come on out.
Quoi?
Theo?
What?
You see Theo leaning up against the side of the cart, and he sort of doesn't acknowledge that you're talking to him, and he sort of says, That's Mr. Clark. He's sort of a man about town here at the creek."
Oh, okay. And anyone else with Mr. Clark?
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Theo.
Mm-hmm.
You get a cookie.
So if no one else hops out of a wagon quite at that moment,
No.
Oh my god, if Abe goes out.
Well, Abe stays hidden.
Abe's not going out, so.
you hear good evening then, and you hear some boot steps off into the night, and you hear who you're pretty sure is John Murphy say, "Actually, we were going to camp here at the creek for the night, so I don't understand much going out in the middle of the night, but, if that's what your schedule is, then I guess, we'll just keep playing catch up every so often." And Lou sort of goes,
"Business, John Murphy, that's what."
"Yeah, sure."
Bill doesn't say that. Bill is still inside, but that's what she thinks.
And Lou goes, "Yeah, we'll see who gets there first." And you hear a, "Yeah, all right." And you hear two sets of boots and a few sets of hooves pad off towards the encampment down at the creek.
Hannah steps out.
And you see Theo there and Lou sort of looking off towards the encampment. And he's
Do
like,
we have anything to worry about?
Lou, he's like, "I don't think so. Other than the fact that we're a bit odd because we're traveling at night, but
Is I look at Theo, Mr. Clark very inclined to want to meet us, or will we be able to continue about our business and leave without him butting in?"
He goes, "I don't know, Lou." And Lou goes, "I don't think so. He seems as attached to the camp here, so if we go on our way, I don't think he'll be inclined to follow us."
Very
Oh,
well.
I forgot that Eliza kind of had a crush on Lou.
That's it.
She's spending extra time getting ready right now.
Is that what they're doing now?
Does anyone else come out?
Yeah, I think
left.
Abe will come out.
I mean, I imagine we all come out at some point or another, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to be the one who lets the ferret out of the bag again, but do we hear a baby crying?
Oh yeah,
Ever?
off and on. Mm-hmm.
It's still alive.
It's background noise. Yeah.
But now there's no Frederick to stop me from doing whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Or so you think.
Just
Correct.
weird.
He is the wagon now.
Weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Someone did take that wagon, didn't they?
Yeah.
They took that wagon.
Yeah, they inherited it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frederick is the grossest transformer.
you didn't notice the wagon has just been looking at you guys every so often.
Maybe it did have like some crazy like head on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it had the Wendigo skull on it.
Yeah.
That's
It's not there anymore. No one. I don't think anyone has asked what has happened to the Wendigo head.
I think I'm okay.
I think
Yeah,
there
not
was
if
talk
any of us
about
are
taking
really
it out, and we decided to keep it on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
And Miami.
Yeah, I think so.
It's up to them, I guess.
All right. Pip actually stealthily makes her way around to kind of peep on what's happening.
Oh, with the babe.
Yeah.
The babe with the power.
What power?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I was just going on with the song. I wasn't.
Oh no, I know.
That's why I was like, rude, Tony.
Well, y'all were like, we need to kill this super baby, and I'm like, ha ha ha. You
I have
don't know
never
that.
said such a horrible thing.
Wait until the baby starts changing its own eye colors. And then its own face.
That's right.
You find the baby juggling 3 eyeballs.
What the fuck? Oh wait, okay.
No, not really. So
Terrible.
yeah, you sneak over to their carriage.
Yeah.
Are you being especially sneaky, or are you just being like human nosy?
Especially sneaky? I wore my hunting gear, so I'm not hunting. I just no swishy skirts. I'm being quiet. I don't want to alert her to my presence. I want to see how she's acting herself.
Make me a Dex plus Stealth then. Difficulty 6.
Ooh. Ooh. 4.
You come over and she's actually tending to the horses for a moment. Let's see here. Yeah. And you actually see Daryl come out of the wagon and scoot over to her, and he's like, she's down. She's down for now. We'll see how long it lasts.
He?
The baby was a he or a she?
No, she. I said, yeah. Sorry, maybe it clipped.
No, the baby's a he.
The baby's he? Since
Yeah.
when?
Named Philip.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He's down for now. We'll see how long it lasts. I don't remember. 800 characters keep track. What do you want?
Also, we literally haven't talked about this baby since it became a thing.
It's true.
Well,
It's because we were actively avoiding it.
well, that was the whole reason why Pip went into reclusion, is she was trying to stay as far away from it as humanly possible. But now that there's the thing that was stopping her from doing what she wanted is now gone.
Yeah, and I have 12 other characters, 6 of which are Sally's to keep track of. So, you know. I mean, some stuff
Only
here.
4.
But yes, it sounds like he is down for a nap. What's her real name again?
Mary?
Mary, right. I know I have it written down somewhere, but now I have too many notes. Ha ha. So, yeah, he seems to take over for the horses, and she crawls into the back, or she starts to crawl into the back there. Make me another stealth check, same difficulty.
Was it manipulation plus stealth?
Dex plus stealth.
No, it's the same numbers. 2.
You see her start and sort of put herself up against the wagon, and she spots you dead on and says in French, "Oh, Mrs. Sterling, how can I help you?"
Steps out of the shadow. So she's, out the open. It's nothing, I'm just checking.
She says, "Thank you. The young Philip is asleep. Daryl's tending to the horses. I'm about to check in on him as well, and then maybe try and catch a nap before we get going."
You may speak frankly with me if you wish.
That sounds like
You
a
see
trap.
a wash of emotions go over her face.
That sounds like a trap indeed.
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm not sure what you mean, Mrs. Sterling. That was kind of the plan for this evening."
All right. Carry on. And just steps back.
Huh. Huh.
How long would you say we've been running around without continuing to feed them?
Not quite a month.
Okay.
She definitely looks tired. Very, very tired.
Like
She's a
human
new
tired.
mom
Because
with
she's
a
a new
baby
mom.
on a fucking wagon trail. Yeah, she gotta be tired.
It's definitely not helping.
There's a reason to Ghoul her again. A little more energy.
I think what Pip is waiting for is if she starts showing signs of being the angry bitch she once was before Pip intervened. But if she's going to continue to be docile, like as this new life, she'll leave her be.
So then there's just going to be a lot of spying.
Yeah. Just keeping an eye.
I would offer to help, but I'm only reliable in that department about half the time.
Kind of.
Pip,
Yes.
for the first time in a long, long time, you smell the weird waft of the particular type of coffee your ex-husband liked.
Ugh.
Oh no.
It's obnoxious because that was one of the few smells you liked.
Ugh.
Like, not that you enjoyed it, but that was
Yeah.
one of the few happy moments. Was sort of the quiet in the morning before the day had come up.
She stops walking and just sort of looks around her.
Do you want to see him and talk to him? Or are you just waiting for him to jump out?
Waiting to jump in. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, if you don't actually put out the thought that you want to have a discussion of some sort, that you want to interact with him,
Mm-hmm.
no, there doesn't seem to be a presence other than the smell.
Still frowning,
Mm-hmm.
continues her walk back to her little, what are they? Trailers? Wagons? Wagons.
Yeah. By the time you get back to the wagon, it probably wasn't even real. It was probably someone else's coffee. Probably, yeah. No. Ridiculous.
Of course. Okay.
So within the hour, the train is packed up again, and you start up into some slightly less wooded hills, but they are a little more obnoxious than the trail you came down following the creek. So I'm going to need those. I'm going to need those navigation checks again. Either manipulation or dex plus animal kin or drive. Difficulty 6.
That's a 2. Need to be 6. Okay. I'm rolling John's for him. Oh wait, he's back. I'm not rolling John's for him. We're doing wagon rolls again. We're both 2.
2, 2, 1.
What was the difficulty?
But I also
6.
6. I got 3.
All right. So those with the 2s, yeah, these rolling hills are hell on the axles. With the 1, you're pretty sure as soon as you guys get down to flatland, you're going to need to take another break to fix a wheel that is hanging on for dear life. And someone actually manages to ditch one of the wagons into a small pocket that they didn't notice between 2 rocks. But Theo manages to weave around them before hitting them.
It's another cookie.
He's going to get diabetes.
Now they're being fed with cookies.
So yeah, so I think with a little everyone on 3 lift, you guys managed to get the wagon out of the little divot. The wheel can survive for the rest of the night, and you guys make it out of the hilly terrain and are in the valley proper. You circle up in a field and sleep away the day. You awaken the next night, and the wagons have been repaired by the humans during the day. You're packing up already, getting ready to go. And Lou is out at the head of the trail on his trusty steed. So yeah, you guys lose that blood point, and you gain that willpower.
I need to eat.
Oh, do you?
You do.
How are you gonna do that?
I don't know.
Wow, that's difficult.
Today I feed my people.
I mean, we're basically just doing like sustaining, right?
And then someone else can make sure he doesn't suffer from. Okay.
I have the spending blood points right now.
How many points you can take off of him?
Oh, I did spend that one obfuscate though. So let's do that.
Can he still drive a wagon train if he's down 2 points?
If he's down 2 points, yes.
Okay, no, I'll do 2 points. Okay.
And out you go again across the armpit that is the Central Valley of California. At this time, it's beautiful though. It's early spring. It's all lush and green and thriving.
It's not covered in gross orchards and ugly. What are those? Not freeway highways.
Yeah. So it looks to a homesteader. This looks like a veritable paradise. You guys continue on. Another couple days go by. There's traversing of a few small rivers. And you guys begin the ascent into the coastal range to get up and over into the Bay Area So that would be another 2 blood points or 2 nights
Okay.
without much event.
I'm gonna feed at least one of these nights. So that will leave me that. Okay.
Russ is going to make his round of feeding.
Yeah, basically just assumed that I was at least getting some of the communal herd.
As of right now, there's enough to go around for 1 blood point for everyone at least.
Right. That's
Unless you're making some other accommodation.
basically just like maintaining my current level.
Sure. So, you guys come down out of a little bit of elevation, and you can see the bay out in front of you, glistening in the moonlight. And Lou sort of looks over and is like, "Well, we could stop in San Jose on the way up."
Whoa, weird.
How do we get that far south?
Well, you
We're
came
going-
over, and you
Oh,
gotta
so-
go either north or south.
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
No geography.
And he's like, or we can pass by it and work our way up the coastline, and then come in the next night to San Francisco.
I mean, do we know anything about San Jose? Like, I mean, in character.
Nope.
I know
don't
nothing
think-
about any of it.
I don't think any of you know that there was a city there called that.
Yep.
How big of a settlement/city is it currently?
It's
It's
actually
pretty decent.
big.
I was about to say, but
Yeah.
they're all like the Christian Catholic
Okay.
Yeah.
monastery. People are gonna be fucking there.
You're actually close to one now.
Ugh. Like I don't know how
I mean,
well
the
any of us would
California
actually.
Missions went all the way down, so yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how many of us would actually know this, or if anyone in the wagon train would know this, because that could be kind of important if they're a bunch of fervent priests doing their whole like converting Catholicism to the natives in this area.
That would be int plus academics.
I mean, Stella can go sneak in.
I don't have academics either.
You can always scout ahead.
We need to find high ground anyway. There's so much valley. It's so low.
This is academics on yours.
Yeah.
In plus academics.
Yep. Difficulty 5.
This is the first one this has ever
How much
happened
plus?
that I don't
Yeah.
have.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, when did that happen? Good God.
What's going on? Oh.
Nice.
Slowly leaning its way in.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a boom mic. Can you see the
boom's in
boom
the
mic in the shot?
What was the difficulty?
5.
2 successes.
I mean, yeah, there's fuck all priests all up and down this fucking coast.
Not just priests, but fuck all priests.
Yeah.
The mission system comes all the way up to, and if you remember correctly, you guys are near one of them where you came out of the hills.
I mentioned this to the group and to Lou. Like I'm like,
Founded by Jesuits, nonetheless.
yeah, I was gonna say like, just so we're aware, just to recall, if we
And,
stop here, this might be it might not be an issue, but it might be an issue.
Yeah, you've had some interactions with Catholics
Catholics
out in the east, but apparently it's silly with them out here.
Cathol.
Cathals. With all them Cathals.
Yeah.
It feels
These
like
aren't
home.
Petty Catholics. These are Mexican Catholics. So,
Yep.
If we're actually like gathered up and we're talking about this kind of stuff, Russ kind of points out, he's like, I don't know, I don't know a whole lot about the rules and whatnot, but one of the things that Hickory told me way back when is that if I ever went into a big city, I was supposed to find the other folks, other vampires in town, and let them know that I was there. This looks like a pretty big city to me, so I don't know if that's the thing that we need to concern ourselves with.
Well, I think it will be if we're staying for any period of time. If we're passing through, I don't know if we'll need to tell
Are
you.
we to civilization right now?
What was
I
that?
don't
It sounded like a
Russ
question.
doesn't know all the rest of the rules. He just knows what Hickory told him, which is if you ever go into a big city, you better let them know that you're there.
What was that, Sally?
Oh, yeah. How close are we to the city?
About half a night.
Oh, well, that's not that close. How close are we to this supposed missionary thing? Mission.
About an hour.
Hmm.
Maybe. You guys aren't sure where it is.
I'm trying to think. Well,
we're based on modern geography, we are somewhere in like Pleasanton? Or are we on the hills?
You're on the hills. You're like in Hayward, Fremont.
Okay, yeah, like Union City.
Yeah. A little more south.
Pretty close.
Stella disappears and is looking for priests.
That girl.
Also, high places to stand on.
I'm gonna go scout two folks just to make sure my adopted progeny doesn't get murdered by Jesuits.
A very smart idea.
Well, it's something.
That's why it's actually there. Also, churches tend to be tall.
Good
Well, that
point.
would be lovely. Walking out.
All right, Sally, what is this, Tasha?
No, this is Stella.
No, this is Stella, right? Stella's got to be up high all the time.
So we're stopping, or she's just sneaking out?
I think she's sneaking out.
Okay. Are you sneaking out, or you tell us that you're leaving?
I have obfuscate 4. You have no clue.
God damn it.
That's what I was saying. She's getting fucking like ranks in discipline that is making it progressively harder for me to do any good parenting.
Progressively harder to keep track.
For a little while, Dad.
She's like, "Fuck your barriers, old man."
You're not the boss.
Your barriers are meant to be heard.
Do I find any cushion robes?
So, Stella, give me a perception plus alertness. 7.
One, two, three. Right now, 2.
You're pretty sure you see some sort of settlement off to the south a bit, but nothing that's obviously a priest.
Wait, this is not the city. This is not San Jose. It's somewhere else.
No, yeah, this is somewhere else. San Jose is a ways away, so it wouldn't be San Jose. Or at least, I don't think Stella would make that connection.
Okay. Is there anywhere high to climb yet?
No, that's what you've done. You found the tallest tree already, and that's your look.
Ow. Well, now I'm bored.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm born in a tree.
I'm born in a tree and I'm in the tree board.
Right?
I don't know whether I keep going or not. How long did it take you to get there?
Probably 20 minutes.
All right. I can totally get a little closer.
John, are you going to try and trail her?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick the trail.
Okay, so John, give me a wits plus survival, difficulty 6. And Stella, are you trying to be extra sneaky, or are you just using your powers?
Just using my powers.
All right, then go ahead and make me a Dex plus Stealth, also difficulty 6.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lou is like, so are we going to go, or are we going to stay, or what?
You got 5.
What's my difficulty?
6.
6. I got 2.
You lost the trail. She headed south somewhere, but after the jump out of the tree, you're not sure.
All right, well, I'll find a good hiding spot and I'll place myself here. I'll try to figure out some signs when she comes back.
I just want to get close enough to the settlement to see if I can actually see someone that lives there.
Yeah, that doesn't take long. You sort of get to the edge of that settlement, and you see some people in poor-fitting pants and shirts, sort of hanging out outside of small earthen huts.
Wow, this is really like the early days of a settlement then.
Well, these are definitely people who don't seem to be higher up in the societal order. And they don't live particularly close to a much larger structure. And yes, that is, it has all the markings of something that's a church, but not like a church you've ever been to.
Oh. Like, are there any symbols that are
Oh yeah, it's stupid with crosses. Yeah, you're like,
okay,
oh yeah, no, that's a church.
Those crosses all over that. Okay. That's what I want to see. You can leave.
It's stupid with crosses.
That is a great point. It's stupid with crosses.
Wait, is that the only like the actual building there, and there's just a bunch of huts?
Well, it's like a compound. There's like a wall with a few buildings inside of it, but that's beyond where these people appear to live.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, as soon as I get a look like that, I just head back.
Are you still being sneaky?
Yeah, I'm sneaky until I feel that nobody would be able to see me, because that would be silly.
No, yeah. Good. Make me another Dex plus Stealth, difficulty 6. And Abe, are you still keeping an ear out for...
Oh, hey. I think I actually, yeah, I actually botched that. No, it's just 0. It's just 0.
Oh.
So you just gotta not botch.
I got 5.
Oh.
How many did you get?
5.
5? Nice. Yeah, you sort of settle in like you're hunting out on a perch, a stand.
Mm-hmm.
And, almost as if you're back home, you hear the telltale plap, 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 plap of feet in mud.
That's the name.
You just see the footprints creating themselves. Oh, hi, Bella.
Wow, rude. Freaking rude.
And
I'm probably making sounds at this point, going like, my shoes.
Actually sneak behind her.
Oh, shoot. Well, I don't notice you.
And then while she's distracted with her shoes, I just grab her by the collar.
What? I mean, I don't know who you are yet, so I just start struggling.
Try to knock over the dice.
I just
Roll the
lift
dice,
you up
Bella.
with your
Roll the dice.
Why?
She's actually sitting in his dice
I
box.
start yelling out loud. Someone's got me!
Be quiet.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Anyone else, feel free to roll wits plus alertness.
And I start to walk the camp without putting you on the ground.
Well, once I know it's you, I just kind of go, oh, I'm in trouble, right? Okay, I'm limp.
Difficulty?
Don't do it.
6.
Don't.
Must be warm there.
So
Hey.
comfortable.
No.
You.
Oh, gods.
Cats happen.
There we go.
Oh, that was so cute.
Why can't we be nice to any other
They're
animals,
not
Rhea?
punching each other yet.
Here.
Fuck you, Rhea.
Wow. Some feelings are happening.
Did you get in the box?
Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep going.
Move along. Doesn't see here.
So yeah, those of you who got more than a few successes on that wits plus alertness check, you hear the squawk of Stella.
Jesus.
You hear the squawk of Stella in trouble. But in trouble as in she knows she's in trouble, not she's in trouble as in you do anything about it. Lou as well sort of cocks an ear and he goes, oh. So,
Yeah.
so are we going to stop or should we keep going?
I saw some things.
Yeah,
A disembodied voice says from the darkness.
and just pops the obfuscate off, obviously holding something by the scruff.
Yeah, I dropped mine too. I probably did as soon as I started screaming, honestly.
Right.
So that must have been weird. Did I just walk in floating?
Probably.
A little bit.
Hannah is basically like, unless anyone needs to do something in town, I highly suggest we keep moving.
They're
Well,
building a
we're
church
We're
there
not
or
in
something.
town yet, right?
Yeah.
We're just by the mission.
Yeah, you're up near probably
There's other things that can do.
Mission.
No,
I think
follow
that's
me.
actually Mission San Jose.
I was in the tree the whole
San
time.
Jose is actually in Fremont by
Yeah.
modern standards.
I mean,
Yeah.
I stopped a
Actually-
little closer because I wanted to see who lived there.
Yeah, you're actually near Mission San Jose, and then stopping in the town proper San Jose is later that night. But if no one wants to stop in there, then yeah, you can make it a little ways up the peninsula before you guys have to break camp again. Make camp.
That would be my suggestion, but
Yeah,
it looks a bit boring anyway.
or something.
Lou goes, cool, pushing on, great, and walks over his horse and sort of nods over at Cookie, and they all sort of start moving along again.
Has anyone noticed how less jovial Lou's being as of the last few nights?
Was that?
Has anyone else noticed that Lou isn't exactly as jovial as he normally is the past few nights?
Maybe he's tired of our bullshit.
I was about to be like, honestly, I think it's
Is he regretting taking on this job? Probably.
yeah, probably.
Cookie walks by carrying a couple pots. He goes, the whiskey ran out a few nights back.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Everyone. I see.
I can't really relate anymore, but I remember.
We're gonna have to add that to our list of supplies to do.
So we get to San Francisco, and then all the booze for the humans.
So you guys weave your way inland a bit, down past the southern end of the bay, much farther inland than most of you would think you need to go. But whatever, fine, you guess. And you guys start moving back up along the edge of the bay coastline. And just the faintest peak of light starts to show itself from the I can't remember what way things west. Cool. Starts to peek over the hills to the west, and as you guys make camp for the night, or for the day rather.
The sun rises in the east.
Right.
You know how I always try to tell where it rises? It's that Beauty and the Beast song.
Oh, geez.
Thanks.
Oh,
It's like I sing it in my head every time when I forget.
Tales old as time.
Yep,
So
that
there's a
one.
lyric rises
sure
in the
as the
east.
sun rises in the east.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Anyway,
No, I just do the Japan is the land of the rising sun.
Yep.
we
Or east.
I used to live in the East Foothills. The sun came up over it.
so you go. You guys spend the day, and you wake up again, and lose a blood point, gain a willpower. But I'm sure none of you used any. And
I'm gonna take a snack off with you.
sure.
Actually,
Well, yeah, you get to drive the wagon into town.
You pop out of my coffin. Are we there yet?
Oh, 2, yeah, you'll be fine.
No.
Oh.
Pip is in spring cleaning mode.
Nice.
Nice.
Everything must be perfect.
Oh, I see.
You guys wend your way a little bit farther up that peninsula that night, and within a few hours, the lights of a bustling port city come into view. You come up and down over a small hill, and into the lowlands, but also several hills that seem to make up this growing metropolis that's making itself there at the end of this jut of land. And it is a strange thing to be in a city again after so long, and stranger still that this is a city unlike any you have ever come into before. Trying to think. Yeah, this is a full interracial experience. There's all sorts of different languages, different sights, different smells. You caught whiffs of it as you guys came through Tahoe and Murphy's, etc. But now, in the midst of it proper.
Oh, I get it.
What's up?
Well, that's why everyone was named Murphy. We were in Murphy's.
Just her face.
Megan just realized that y'all came down 4. So, and yeah, just a few dozen miles north of the capital of the area, San Jose. So, you guys find what resembles an empty field with some trees in it at the edge of a hill outside the greater metropolis that's sort of flapping itself along this coast. And there are still a few hours till sunrise. What do you wish to do with it now that you've reached your destination?
That's a tough one.
Can we go see things? I want to go see everything. Just like everything. Everything's so new and shiny and.
You're not going to see everything.
What? Why?
Go get shanghaied by pirates.
Can we see a few things?
Mr.
Yeah.
Barry, entirely done with you today.
You're
Russ
going
actually, he's actually kind of interested with everybody here. It's like, well, we're here, but where are we? Are we just staying in the wagons? Is that your all's plan? Because
I'm sorry, is here San Francisco?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. I don't know how to respond to that. Sorry, Siri is on overdrive today.
Hannah,
I didn't hear anything you said. I said,
Hannah would have looked at Lazarus and been like, well, I intend finding out where trying to find out where the rest of the Kindred are.
Are you going in town? I want to go. I'll be good. I'll be quiet.
what city are we in?
San Francisco?
We're right outside of San Francisco.
Oh, we're right outside San Francisco.
Yep.
We're not in San Francisco yet.
Well, you're there.
No, we're in San Francisco.
Can I go with Miss Allen?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're parked.
Miss Allen will have you.
Miss Allen, can I go with you?
yeah,
Not without
We'll-
supervision, and she looks at Abe.
we've only got a couple of
I
hours.
want to go because he thinks everyone will think he's ugly.
Oh.
We've only got a couple hours before
Not exactly
sun.
why, but
You said several. So,
How many
Tony,
hours?
what time is it? Like, how long do we actually have?
2 a.m.
Okay, yeah. So
Pip is in her finest fucking dress. And she is gonna find her husband. If she's gonna break down every wall she comes across.
Ooh, maybe I shouldn't go with her.
Yeah, so Hannah intends on trying to find Kindred Society.
mean, that's
She
where I'm going.
recommends.
I mean, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. She looks at Lazarus, recommends he do the same because of what Hickory told him, and that's basically what they were talking about. And
I can go with Giant Dad.
There you go.
yeah.
Cleaning.
you ask her out
And then
if she wants to take you. Don't say you're going to go.
to
I give my best, like, please look at Russ.
good luck with that.
you get he looking over at Frankie. Say now you follow what your daddy says. If your daddy says you can go into town, you can go into town. But I'm only just going in to follow along with Miss Allen here, and
I know. I just want to see. I don't want to stay here. I'll be good. I'll just go with everyone else. I'll just look at things. I won't touch
I won't
anything.
touch a promise.
I won't even lick anything.
Just
most people
one
Say that. Does not give me confidence, girl. Well, if you go, you listen to Russ. You do everything Russ tells you.
Okay.
Because he'll tell me if you don't.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he leans into you and he says, I do in fact have eyes like a hawk.
Ooh.
I give Russ a look like, yeah, good.
Yeah. They're actually more like a crow, but still.
So yeah, I would basically say I'm going. Miss Sterling is obviously looking for a husband. I'm going into town to find other kindred to let them know that we're here and that I'm here. But aside from that, I would be coming back to our wagon train before sunrise.
where you're gonna find the kindred and the people you need to talk to, or
Yeah.
where I'm gonna find my husband.
True. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, there we go.
But the plan is to be back here at the wagon train afterwards because
Yes.
we don't have a permanent place to stay yet.
Correct. Okay. So that's the plan. I don't know how we do this.
I was waiting
Well,
for
I'm
the
sure
part.
Some of my
Extra
letters that I
hard to be-
received, they're going to give me
Good.
Wander into the city and be like, hey, where are all the vampires at?
Maybe that's not how you do it.
Do the secret handshake with.
You grab a random cop in the street. Do you know where there are any vampires? He's like, oh, no.
No hablo inglés.
Yeah, this is not like modern nights where we can just find the nearest goth club or something.
Un vampiro.
Right.
Mucho vampiros. Yeah, the Death Guild doesn't open for another 100+ years, y'all.
That's saloon.
The Death Saloon. I want to go there.
Tony, would one of my letters from my husband give me an address to where I might find him?
No, as he was still traveling to San Francisco when those letters were sent.
It's also 2 a.m. So how many-
The more recent ones that I just got?
Yes, because they were sent when he was leaving.
But I had an address to send to him, and that's where I sent all my letters.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've been
I
playing this
remember
as
that.
you've just been sending by name to cities for general. It's called. God damn it! It's
Okay,
called.
so no. Cool beans. All right.
Yeah, it's called general collection or something like that, where basically you're like, "Is there any mail for me?" And yeah.
Mhm. Can we break into a post office?
I mean, I can use my auspex
I don't know.
and a cult to figure out where the dead people are.
Or them dead bitches.
Oh, we lost Tony.
Actually, yeah.
Well, are you looking specifically for ghosts, or I think K-Knights of the city would probably, K-Knights of your caliber would likely populate the more affluent areas of the city. So locating that would probably be the first step.
Yeah.
And for that, I think would be a well, how do you go about finding that? Because depending on whether or not you like follow your nose and wander the streets, or if you start asking people, or were you trying to?
I would follow my nose and wander the streets. Asking people seems silly.
Where the vampires at again?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Wits plus a cult.
Wits plus a cult?
Yeah, difficulty 8. You're doing it by hair. You're doing it by ear.
Right here. You're right here.
By the hair, you chin.
Ooh, I've got 2 10s.
Nice.
3.
Can I roll 2 difficult? I do have that intuition specialty.
With 3, you managed to find that there's a bustling activity near the docks. And there is, up a hill a ways, away from the smell,
Get much better.
there are quite a few inns and larger buildings that seem to have been purpose-built for various civic purposes.
Okay. I'm going to wander around those. And I assume if I saw a vampire, I would be like, you're one of us?
Maybe. So now if you're specifically looking for vampires in this area, go ahead and make a
Wow.
Perception plus occult.
Difficulty?
7.
Can I spend a willpower?
Yeah.
2.
You see a woman with a dark complexion, raven black hair, very well put together, almost a little too floozy-ish, but you can tell from the quality of the fabrics and the real jewelry that she's actually someone of substance. And you get the distinct hint of vitae off of her.
Okay. As in, she been bit or she done bite?
You're not sure. You just know that there's something there. It's strong enough that either she's not trying at all to really hide it, or that she's associated with she's either a really powerful ghoul, or she's a vampire herself who's not trying it, or she's been marked somehow.
Okay, I'm gonna saunter up all pretty and use all my charisma, appearance, manipulation, and blah blah blahs, and use some presence to be like, "Yo, bitch, tell me your secrets."
Cool. So let's go ahead with a charisma plus etiquette,
Of which I'm dripping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does sweet talk count?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, it was charisma and
Etiquette.
etiquette. Where's my etiquette? Does high society count?
For this one, no.
I mean, she dripping in fucking diamonds.
Yeah, funny, huh?
She could just be a call girl.
Well, we all know if you have money, you don't wear it that way. It's very gauche. Anyway, difficulty.
Difficulty 6.
Judging.
It's 4, 5, 6, 7, because an auto success.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is what I was built for.
She is putty in your hands. She introduces herself as Mrs. Marisol Van. Let's see here.
Von Schlieben.
No.
I will slit her throat.
He just went
Mrs.
down in the earth all the way to San Francisco.
Right.
She introduces herself as Mrs. Marisol van Eckerbert,
Ah.
but she says it in a horrendous Spanish accent that doesn't do it justice.
Did you say Mrs.?
Yes. And she sort of like zeroes in and like is like, oh. She drops Spanish in randomly in the conversation, just like assuming you know it. And
Nope.
she's like, she's sort of like, you are wonderful, you are amazing. How can I help you? What can I do for you? I need you to meet all my friends because you're amazing.
Oh dear. I don't. You're so kind. But I'm having difficulty understanding your words. I don't speak Spanish, my dear.
She says, it's okay. My English is not so good either.
Oh, lovely. Yes.
You're getting like 1 in 4 words or something. So I guess I'm kind of like further back, and I kind of take it rest. I'm like, are they friends? Should we go meet
Are
them?
you guys all together?
I mean, we were following.
Yes,
we were following along. with
yeah,
the
we're
plan.
You're following
together.
my nose.
Yeah.
We- yeah. So,
Okay.
I'm just like.
I'm getting
I
that.
look
I'm
at
getting
it
that
like-
telltale on board like feeling. So I'm just like,
I just looked down. I looked down at Frankie and I just kind of pat her on the hand and said, I don't know what's happening right now, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing, and we'll just follow their lead.
well, she's really pretty.
Now, Mrs. Von Eckbert, are your friends more inclined as to be like me?
And she's like, oh, yes, they're all very refined. They're all very excellent. They're all they're well-educated and good breeding. Only one of them really isn't as lovely as you. But you're actually more lovely than the rest. But yeah, no. And she doesn't seem to get what you're laying down.
Okay, so I'm going to use my 3rd dot in presence to inflict entrancement, to just look at her and be like, are your friends vampires? Because that's what I'm looking for. Zone her
I was about
in.
to say, I've got like 2 dots in dominate. Maybe I was like, maybe I can lend a hand.
Let me
You're
see here.
talking a lot. I'm bored. I said it would be good though.
I looked down at her and I was like, yes, you did.
Stand straight.
Oh, it's just my computer.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so appearance plus empathy, difficulty 6.
Is it watching the food or is it here already?
It's been here for a while.
Oh, why don't we eat it?
Oh, good. Oh,
I'm
dear.
gonna eat with your mom.
Oh,
The rest of the vampires present, if you're trying to obscure yourself as vampires, make an appearance plus empathy roll, and your difficulty is 10 minus your humanity rating.
You're doing that. Are you talking about like making ourselves look like we're human?
Yeah,
I don't have to do that.
Yeah. Same.
cool.
What do you guys have that you don't
Blush
have
of
to
health.
do?
Blush of health.
Oh, okay. I don't have that. What do I need to do?
I have
Tell me what other
deceptive
things you
aura, which makes me superhuman, and then I have human
Your difficulty
mortality.
is 10 minus your humanity.
So you're
I'm English. We already look like we're dead. It's fine.
appearance plus what?
Empathy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Empathy.
Tony, does beautiful face count for this?
Yes,
And then it's 10 minus my rating.
is your difficulty.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4.
3.
1, 2. I have
All right.
like all the successes.
Cool. So, you're like riding a bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm human. Hello, fellow humans. Let us go eat the food. Sally or
Bass.
Tasha. Currently.
Tasha, you grin a little too wide, but you mostly pass. And Pip, as you say, are there any vampires? You see her eyes sort of give that telltale glaze that normally indicates that it's working.
Uh-huh.
But there's you could almost say an ethereal blood haze, like an alligator's second eyelid set, sort of washes over her eyes. And she sort of shakes her head like someone just stunned her, and she's all like,
Freaking premieres.
she's like, and she looks over at Tasha smiling too wide, and she goes,
I kind of just do which probably doesn't help.
she sort of takes a half step back
a little bit.
and she goes, if you are looking to meet my friends, I'm guessing you are the type of people of good breeding that respect the type of good heritage who respect order and making sure that the common folk are not aware of everything that goes on at night?
Yes, extremely.
How did she talk
Okay.
like that?
Asshole. Drop it. Drop it.
Get the water bottle. 1 sec.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, Basil's in trouble.
Yeah, he usually gets his playtime in by now, and he's being a brat. So, she sort of like shakes it off a little more and looks at you again, Pip, and she goes, I think I still want to be your friend, but please don't try that again, or my husband might be very upset.
I do apologize.
Wait, wasn't Von Eckerbert Bert's name?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I said something here.
Welcome to the club, Megan. Your timer just went
Bert
ting.
was his Masquerade character in our last game. Zabathos.
Oh, Jesus. So now we're
Yes.
seeing your grandparents.
And
I mean, yeah,
so-
that's what happened in our Masquerade game was that Lisa and John's characters.
Look at him. She's fine. She's being an angel. That little bugger.
All of these games are related in some way, shape, or form.
And every game we play involves somehow running into Fergus by seeing through space.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fergus is
Pig
popping up.
is time arrow.
My deepest and sincerest apologies, but I had to be sure that you were acquainted with the people we are looking for.
And she's like, okay, I'm not as susceptible to those things as others might think.
As I can tell.
So, yes.
And offers a very deep curtsy.
And she gives a similar one in reply to show there's no hard feelings, as she's enjoying this extra etiquette that she rarely gets to show off. And she goes, well, not tonight, as I'm late for an engagement I already have this evening with some friends, but tomorrow night she like opens up her satchel and pulls out a small piece of paper. It's a playing card, and on the back has a white horse on it. And she passes it to you, and she says, this hotel is up the street here, and she points up the hill a little ways.
Walk it over.
She goes, a bunch of us are meeting, and she leans in to the rest of you and is like, it's the Elysium.
Okay.
Oh, lovely. But before you depart, I must ask if you're familiar with a Mr. Everett Sterling.
She goes, ooh, yeah. She goes, see? He is a very proper gentleman.
Her eyes are brimming.
as she sees that, she goes, "Oh no! She does the wave, she does the mascara wave.
Fan.
Yeah,
The mention of Elysium is like, is that supposed to mean something?
It means it's a place where nobody can get in like fights and shit.
So, wait, so is that like a church?
No.
so not fun.
It's a common ground.
Yeah, it's so. It's not church. It's, you know, whenever you go to a city, the vampires, they designate a place that's like, doesn't matter what clan you're from, it doesn't matter, like, anybody, if you got beef, you can't do it here. This is where we have meetings and shit.
Okay, so it's kind of like a town hall then.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if
the
you
eloquence.
And if you try to do anything while you're at Elysium, you know, it's you're executed because it's not cool. So
Well, that
don't.
just seems overly harsh.
I mean, no.
No. If you're dick enough to fuck up Elysium, you're dick enough to get killed.
Yeah.
You know, Hickory told me a lot of this stuff a long time ago, but I never really thought I'd have to deal with it.
I mean,
Am I gonna have to put on a suit?
No, you're fine.
Wearing ties?
You don't have to wear a tie. You just go as your person. You go as, you know. They want to know what you will like as yourself. And if they don't like you, they can't do anything about it because it's Elysium. So, you know.
All right.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
So, upon hearing that she knows of Mr. Sterling,
Yes.
She just knows what they are.
as I mentioned earlier, my name is Mrs. Philippa Sterling, and
she
I
like
am
grabs your hands and she goes, "Oh, that's your brother."
Hannah's eyebrow raises in amusement.
as her eyebrow flutters on.
Oh, that's your husband.
Blown off.
No, dear. Everett is my husband, and
She
I've
goes-
traveled a very long way to find
There's
him.
a squeak scream that comes out of her as you say that, rising in crescendo, and she goes, "Then we need to go now."
That would be
She like
wonderful.
drags you up you drag each other up this hill.
Oh, why?
Okay. Okay.
I don't have control.
I look at Lazarus and
Tasha.
sorry, I forgot your name for a second, Megan. And whoever Bill. I forgot Bill. My brain's dead. And I'm just like, maybe we could come back tomorrow now that we know where we're going to be and let Mrs. Sterling have her moment with her husband.
They're gonna get all kissy
The ghost
face.
wanted to see.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that seems appropriate as long as we know where we're going.
well,
I guess-
Bill wants to follow. Bill wants to see this shit. She's
Bill,
like, I want
Bill
to
can go right ahead. She's all like, be my guest. I am going back to
Also-
camp.
Also, the nice Mexican lady, Elysium, the thing for Elysium was on a playing card.
Yes.
So clearly Bill was intrigued on multiple levels. So Bill followed that. Bill's like, nah, I gotta see this.
Clearly.
I kind of just like look at Russ and Hannah. I'm just like looking away. Like, I wish I could go over there, but they aren't moving, so I guess I have to stay here. Looking very forlorn.
He kind of looks up. Miss Allen, what's your play here?
I just wanted to find out where they were tonight. I'm going back to camp, and we need to inform Abe what's going on and bring Frankie back anyway. Or
Yeah, Frankie.
sorry,
Frankie
Stella,
Tasha.
yeah.
Frankie,
Or we need to bring
Tasha.
Tasha back anyway. So I'm inclined to go back to camp and return tomorrow to where the Elysium is.
That sounds about appropriate for me. I'll let Miss Philippa and let Bill go off and do their thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna head back to camp. dragging Stella with us.
Oh, my couscous.
As the killjoys
Yeah.
turn about,
Kind of
you
just
take you
Shrug
take a
really
last
back.
moment. I tightened it up. Jesus, because it's overextended. You know what? I'm just gonna.
We get a drooping problem.
I just slide it to the left. It's all right.
There you go.
So as you guys sort of start to turn around to head back to camp that night, you see Marisol and Pip bounding up the hillside of San Francisco of the San Francisco incline towards a obvious. Is it still in shot? No. Okay. Well, it's there, but it's fine. It's all right. It's fine.
It's okay if we see your equipment, Tony. It's all right.
Thinking.
Yeah, right? It's obnoxious. Anyway, at the crest of that hill, you can see a few buildings, and out front of one of them is a sign, and on top of the sign, there's a miniature white horse, like statue sculpture atop it. To that sort of, you're like, I see the card. Excellent. Cool.
That's the thing.
Pip, the two of you
are going to town.
Yeah. This is gonna be bad.
Yep.
So Pip, you and Marisol bolt straight up into this establishment, and
He's my brother.
she swings into the lobby, and straight up to the desk, and she like almost grabs the desk clerk as she sort of like slaps herself bodily onto the counter, and she goes, "What room is Mr. Sterling in?" And the person behind the desk like sort of like steps back and goes, "Who's asking?" And she goes, "His wife." And he goes, "Is he expecting you?"
Wow.
I mean, yes, but it is a bit surprise.
And the clerk looks over at you and goes, "And you are?"
Mrs. Sterling.
And he looks at the two of you and he goes, "Mormons?"
Oh, goodness, no. I'm his wife.
Uh-oh.
And Marisol goes, No. I'm Mrs. Eckerbert." And he goes, Oh, then I don't know his room number. I don't know.
Okay, so how long before people are totally
Okay, so Pip takes
do
just
him?
a gentle breath.
Marisol slams on the counter and goes, No, I'm not his mistress."
Now, please, if you would be so kind as to deliver this message to him, I shall wait patiently right here. And she pulls out a note that she probably carries with her everywhere.
A bellhop gets snagged mid-walk through the lobby.
It has a coin on top of it. There you are.
And the bellhop goes, "Ooh," and looks over at the desk clerk, and the desk clerk sort of like taps something behind the desk. You can only imagine it's a cheat sheet of which rooms, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the bellhop goes, "Un momento," and bolts up into the hotel.
Hey, Tony,
Yeah.
how nice is this hotel?
Very nice.
Oh,
How well built is it?
Oh, it's very well built.
Is Bill.
Oh, there we go.
I feel like Bill is probably just like standing in the middle of the lobby.
No, the middle of the road.
Why is she not in the lobby?
Because she got stuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
outside?
outside's also pretty.
You followed them up the hill, up the street, and as soon as you got like right in front of it, you realize that there's the hotel, and off to one side there's like a pub, and off to the other side there's a small card room.
Mm.
And the facade of the three put together with this new architecture you're being confronted with, it's too much. Someone put their heart and soul into this building to make it a truly exceptional piece of work.
Yep.
And some little lizard brain in the back is like, man, I hope this breaks before dawn, because that's gonna be real inconvenient.
Standing in the street being like, oh.
Right. What a way to go.
Yeah.
Just
From a
staring at
million
the
miles
facade
away,
while
you
the sun
hear-
rises.
From a million miles away, Bill, you hear, "Hola, señorita. Are you okay?"
Let's go to the beach. Sorry.
Oh no.
I just got attacked by Aqua.
So go ahead and make me a self-control check to snap yourself out of it. Difficulty 6.
Nope.
You're like,
Wow.
oh, and they mixed. It's the same person who made the horse. The horse is good too. Oh,
Oh no, it's all matching.
So well
Perfect.
made.
Everything is. Oh, it's combination Spanish neoclassical. Oh God.
yeah, yeah. So meanwhile, back inside the lobby, a few minutes later,
Pip is draped delicately on a chair.
and yes, you hear the telltale sound of a familiar boot gate clopping downstairs, and that string chorus raises up. What song is that? The do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
You mean like, oh, I was thinking the Romeo and Juliet theme by Tchaikovsky? That?
Probably. Insert what you like. As down the stairs comes the man who turned you, your sire, your husband, Mr. Sterling.
Ooh. Everett Sterling.
She doesn't even need to Toreador out to totally just stand
Yeah, just-
transfixed, right?
It's done.
I imagine there's the couple staggered steps, and then the slight jog and embrace,
Yes.
and you hear a
Throw
you hear a
myself
flip.
into his arms.
You hear a flip of a fan as Marisol is just cranking it right in front of her.
Oh yeah, no, she.
She's like,
Yeah, she's about to take off like one hand
The
and
novella.
Her fan and Hannah's eyebrow in the stratosphere. Just-
one hand is up there.
It was already there. She just
Oh, she's just joining my eyebrow.
They're building a new unholy alliance.
So Pip, I'm gonna kind of fast forward you a bit.
That's fine.
He absolutely drags you back up to his room.
Oh,
And I'm guessing you spend the day there.
Oh, yes.
All right. So Bill,
Yeah.
make me another roll. Same one.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Less yes. 1.
All right.
Oh.
You come to as the closed sign cerrado is flipped over in the window of the card room and the bar. You find a serape draped over one of your arms.
That was nice. Whoever that was.
very sweet.
Is it
It's gray with some red and yellow. It's nice.
Very tasteful.
It's it kind of matches everything. It's all right.
Yeah. How much time has passed? Like, how late is it?
About an hour. You got
Okay, so it's still like 3 a.m. though.
Yeah, you got a little time, but sooner than later you're gonna want to head back.
Or head in.
Yeah, so like,
I just realized where the mic went, and it's like literally like almost touching the table before you got it to move it.
The mic is just tired of our shit today.
Yeah.
It's not having it.
Nope.
I barely got up to any shit. Come on.
I'll be right back. Sorry, it's. Oh, but I was in your hand. Never mind. I was squishing your hand.
No, you were not.
I was squishing the pillow.
Do you have an extra hand that we don't know about, John?
That's what
Like all Canadians.
She's given away your secret.
It's right below my gills.
The breathe maple syrup.
That's right.
And beer.
Yeah, you just tap yourself, at breakfast.
So awful.
So, do you want to get into any other trouble tonight, Bill?
Bill takes a deep breath, a couple of them, gives herself a pep talk. Like, you can do this, Eglantine. You can do this. And she walks in. She walks into the hotel.
Oh.
You see...
cash right now.
Yeah, no, Bill has a shit ton of money right now. She's like, no, I'm staying in the fancy digs.
Yeah. You see Marisol.
It's true, yeah.
You see your new friend Marisol sitting on a chaise, sitting across from a chair, and a gentleman. Let's see here. Who the hell was he? I had him do a thing before. Hold on, let me see here. I got notes, baby. Let's see here.
He got notes.
What was he? What did I make him? The fuck? That's right. You see a gentleman with nice chops into a mustache.
Nice.
It doesn't look quite great on him. It doesn't quite match his cheek structure, his bone structure, but he wears it confidently, so he kind of pulls it off. But you're like, maybe just the stash, maybe just just not the whole thing. And they seem to be having a nice amicable chit chat.
She walks up and is like, hello, sir.
He stands and sort of gives a bit of a head nod, and he goes, hola, señorita. And Marisol also is like, oh, Rogelio, this is a friend of Mrs. Sterling's that I met, that I did not get the name of. I'm sorry.
It's fine. My name... She thinks for a second.
I have a name, and it's a good one.
It's like, nah. It's my name is Eglantine Bellis. I'm from Boston.
Texas. Sorry.
Yeah, Boston. Boston. I am wondering if you have any rooms available in your fine establishment this evening.
You say this to the guy who introduced himself from the chair?
Oh, from the chair? I thought I was talking to the person at the desk.
No. She's talking with some guy in the lobby, or did you head straight to the desk?
Never mind. Scratch that. I thought she was at the desk, so I was
Sure. Yeah, no. Yeah, sorry. She's hanging out in the lobby with this dude, Rogelio.
Okay.
And there's also the desk.
So Bill introduces herself and just puts her hand out for a handshake.
He shakes back, good strong shake, and he goes, "Oh, thank goodness, my Spanish is terrible. Around here, Rogelio, but Roger Hemsby. Glad to make your acquaintance."
Pleased to meet you. Let's see. So, what brings you out to these parts, eh?
He's like, he sort of flits his eyes back and forth, and he goes, "I think the same as you, setting up shop for future endeavors and very long inhabitants of the area."
Bill just kind of stared, like Megan doesn't know what the fuck that means, so I don't think Ben does either.
Yeah, he sort of glances over back at Marisol, and Marisol looks up and she kind of like worries her canine with her thumb, and he goes, "That's fine, don't worry." He leans in and sort of looks around. He's like, "We're of the same type, not of the same lineage, but I'm part of the court that's starting up out here."
Oh, okay. That makes sense. What's your like? I don't know what Bill would call a clan. Like,
You seem to refer to it as lineage.
yeah. So what's your lineage, or what you call it?
What's your pedigree?
He sort of straightens up a bit more. He goes, "Malkavian."
Oh God.
Oh, we got one of those. Hey,
There goes-
mister, I gotta get it. I'm gonna see if I gotta get a room. Like, she's like, "Oh nope, I'm gonna go."
He goes, yes, good idea. It's getting early. And he sort of gives the head nod, and he says, "Adios, senora," to Marisol, and excuses himself and heads out. And so you head towards the desk to check in.
Yeah.
You do that. You notice Marisol kind of lingers, and if you don't like directly make eye contact or try and pull her into anything, she sees herself out as well.
Hmm.
And yeah, you get a room, 3rd floor, view of the bay.
Wow.
Like,
Fancy.
these are some fancy digs.
Yeah,
That's
it's
much- and
expensive
they're
as hell. You're spending whole dollars on this room.
Right? She suddenly remembers Delia and then feels kind of bad. So she goes back down to the desk and is like, and basically is like, "Is there a way to send for somebody? I feel like
You see a bellhop get snagged mid-walk, and they're like,
This poor fella.
"How can we?"
But yeah, so she sends for Delia, basically.
All right. Yeah, you give a little message, and a bellhop is dispatched to make this happen, and you give them directions out to the wagon train, and they're like, "Yes, they'll be notified as soon as possible." And so yeah, you've got your room for the night. And then for the rest of the away team, you get back to the wagon train. A few hours till dawn.
Yep.
So we basically inform Abe that we've met other vampires, that we've been invited to the Elysium, and that Bill and Mrs. Sterling decided to stay out, but that we should go check them out tomorrow and introduce ourselves.
That sounds like a plan, especially with the proper Elysium. Bastion of order right out here. That's encouraging.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to get my formal clothes out.
Bill said I didn't have to wear a tie.
Oh no, you don't. You don't. I don't own a tie, Russ.
All right, well.
I just
rope.
Wear your nicest buckskins.
Yeah, but just wear something nice.
That's right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know.
get the porch clothes out.
Oh, hey, yeah, Russ, do you tell Annie at all about this?
Oh, yeah, no. I let Annie know everything about all this, and for the purposes of everything else, she's making Russ wear a tie.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, good. Glad we understand.
Yeah, when he goes back and tells her about that, and goes to help her get set up and eventually
Church
get her.
clothes. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes. So with that, the night ends, and another day goes by, and night comes once more in the port of San Francisco. You awaken, lose a blood point to rouse your corpse, gain willpower back if one was burned.
I don't have any of my humans.
It is a new and strange world you all wake up to, as it's the end of the trail for those still at the wagon train, and it's a proper bed for those of you who found one. And both of you are sharing it with someone.
Yay!
Both of them.
Delia's snuggled up with Bill.
Oh.
I feel like Bill is under the bed.
She may or may not still be snuggled.
Well, Delia is a very large sleeper. She makes up space when she sleeps.
Bill,
And now there's a bunch of pillows and blankets on the floor.
Bill is under the bed sleeping like a proper vampire like this. Yep.
You're too close. Move over.
Bill,
Delia,
piece of paper.
elbows on my side.
Bill, a small envelope has been slipped under your door.
No.
Jesus.
Like, what's this? She picks it up. She reads it.
This message will self-destruct in 5, 4.
Wait, how much of a
Poof.
It says, the letter says, at the request of Mr. Vannevar Thomas and his associates, you are hereby, or your presence is strongly encouraged at this evening's festivities in the card room of the White Horse Hotel at midnight.
Bill's like, all right, I don't have to pull my leg.
Yeah. And it says, sincerely, Lydia Palink, Palinque.
Blink.
And below that it says prim dot, Prim with a period.
Oh.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Those of you back at the camp,
We gotta get dressed up, Delia.
Lou has a bunch of gear packed onto his horse. The horse looks very put out.
Nice.
And he's talking to a woman, or what appears to be a woman from this angle, as you just see the long hair and sort of simple dress. And he looks like he can't look at her directly. And as those of you pile out, who is it tonight, Sally?
It's Sarah again, actually.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Abe's actually taking a while getting ready. He's getting decked out.
Putting his face on, as it were.
Wait, are we supposed to be dressing all fancy?
Well, Abe is. Abe's wearing like. Abe looks like he's dressed like a soldier. Just double-breasted wool coat.
Got his dress blues on.
Everything
Yep.
that is sparkly.
He's got a fur hat.
Everything's sparkly.
He's wearing his red arrow sash.
Russ comes out. So Russ brings out Annie and packs up her. He's kind of carrying her over to Sasha the horse, and he is. Well, he's still wearing like a kind of fur coat, like just an overcoat, but underneath that, he is 100% wearing his church clothes suit. And he is in fact wearing it. He looks very disgruntled about it. His beard is braided.
Ooh,
Nice.
And held in place by a nice little like metal thing. And his hair is combed.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's not. He's not happy about any of this.
Does he look like when Hagrid got dressed up for the Yule Ball?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Very
Yes.
recent. Very close. And as you bring Annie out to the horse, because Sasha's your horse.
Yes, Sasha's my ghoul, the Clydesdale. She's the one who's been pulling the cart this whole time.
Right.
Horse. We need more horses. Then they have to talk.
Because Lou's horse is named. What's Lou's horse's name?
Faster than Glenn.
Kane.
Right.
It's named Kane, Tony.
You wish.
We know.
Yeah. One day you'll find out, and it will be glorious. Let's see.
His name is Pillow.
That's not better.
The immortal.
Yeah, that's not better.
Where the hell is his name? Man, gee, it's too bad your storyteller can't write notes for shit.
They're gonna move Villains Night, and then they'll move our tickets to that date
Awesome.
if we don't cancel them.
I didn't write the damn horse's name. Okay, maybe I never told it to you. All right.
I don't think we've ever known the horse's name.
No one's ever asked. All right, cool, great. That solves that. And
Pinkie Pie.
no, I actually have the name. So as you sort of assemble out, as soon as all of you are accounted for, minus the two who are into town, Lou sort of brings this person.
The horse's name is Penelope.
Ooh,
That's right. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I have.
But the
Lou
horse is
has an
Penelope?
old ass
Yeah.
horse, Penelope.
Yep.
Yes, it is an old ass horse. And he brings the woman into camp, and you see that this woman is an Nosferatu.
Wait, which
Oh, is that why he can look at me directly?
Mm-hmm.
They're coming to get us into camp.
Can you
Oh,
please
my
describe what this Nosferatu looks like?
Yes. From the back, full head of hair, but it stops about part way to the
Ooh,
to
like
the forehead.
Elizabethan.
It's like an eighth head.
Like Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And one of her eyeballs is one of her eye sockets and eyebrow is too far up, the one on the right.
Oh God.
Keep
Are
going.
they gonna be like setting something up now? Like
The nose is trying to escape the eyeball.
This poor lady.
Okay.
And almost like how sometimes you'll see like the cutouts in a hat for ears, her fangs jut out through her lower lip
Like
Ooh.
for them?
as if they were pierced and just have healed up that way so that when
Oh.
she closes her mouth, the teeth stick out.
Nice.
That's so weird.
I love it. I love it so much. Hannah's not phased.
Yeah.
This is the shit I came for.
I mean, we all hung around. We're all friends with Abe. So.
Hannah walks up and is all like, Lou, please introduce us to our friend here.
He goes, of course, this is Lydia Palink.
Mm-hmm.
She's a resident of the area and has come to introduce herself to you and give you some info as new arrivals.
Wonderful.
Before we get into that, though, with her permission, and she sort of like, she looks like she already kind of gave it already.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I wanted to see if y'all were good to let the rest of the crew go about their way now that we've reached the end, or what that was going to look like.
Lazarus, Abe, I'm assuming that's a confirmation, right? Like, we don't need anyone anymore.
Well, I don't think it would be right to rope them here. We don't know how long we're going to be staying in town. So
Yeah.
I feel it's only proper we let them seek other opportunities if they want to.
Yeah, agreed. If no one has any objections, I'm gonna be like, yeah, they can go.
I would just make a point that we should probably figure out where. Well, I know Miss Sterling is going to get awful cross if we don't figure out what's happening with Daryl and the little one.
Good point. They can stay behind. Everyone else can go until we sort that out.
Well, I feel like anybody who isn't directly like tied to the vampires can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like Mrs. Sterling's ghouls are all still here.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
I was
that's
gonna
true.
say,
So everybody-
Nobody,
Yeah,
because who wants to take care of them? Okay, man, just you.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean,
The group that was at the hotel.
Oh, well,
We got a primogen out here. Yeah, I figure we might be able to get accommodations for our ghouls and our crew, but in the meantime, Abe actually goes to basically see every other crew member, and if nothing else, everybody gets a handshake and a firm thank you.
Lou goes, yeah, no, I'll let people know so you guys can get about your other business.
I look at Lou. I was like, Lou, you will also be leaving?
He's like, yeah, I don't like cities.
Before you go, did we ever talk about your heritage at all?
He's like, Scottish?
Oh.
No. You are familiar with the Fae that we encountered, correct?
He goes, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're one of them.
He's like,
Hannah's like, I just wanted you to know before you set off on your own, in case you encounter anything.
meanwhile, the primogen's sitting there like, what the fuck is happening?
he sort of gives that look like, this was not information I wanted to know, and sort of just walks off into camp.
And the horse is like, don't worry, we'll talk about it later.
No, absolutely, that's what's happening.
That's right. He's like, oh, this is too weird. And the horse is like, I got you, Lou.
I'm taking care of it.
So Lydia looks over and she goes, so whose ghoul is he?
Lou?
Yes.
No one's.
Oh.
I would not recommend it, though.
Oh, we would very much recommend it to someone we don't like.
Basil. No. I will pick you up. I will pick you up and you will not like it.
And she goes, And he's not staying.
No.
Okay. She goes, well, I merely came to greet you and let you know that we are aware of your presence here in town and that you, of course, are welcome, as it sounds as if you are adherents to the Camarilla. Elysium begins at midnight this evening, should you wish to make informal introductions. And court is next Monday, which is about 4 nights from now. Where, if you will be staying that long, you will need to introduce yourself to the court in an official capacity.
Would you please tell me if there are any Ventru?
She goes, oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
She goes, and that was really it. That gives you several hours to, of course, hunt, should you wish, before activities. Or, of course, refreshments will be served there as well.
Rules on the hunting of the city that we should abide by?
At this time, no, just be discreet.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope to see you all there.
Yes.
She sort of gives a nod and turns about and wanders back up towards the city.
Okay. Hannah goes, hey, you two.
She does? Who's she talking to this today?
You know who, Stella.
She goes back to her thing to get ready.
The cats that only Stella can see because she's crazy.
She said you too, but both of them are you.
Oh.
I was going to say Hannah would be bringing Theo with her as her ghoul.
Excellent.
To introduce him to the court.
Sure.
Come here.
Cool.
Here.
So
You'll be escorting me.
Yes.
I actually think this is a good place to pause.
Yes.
I think we'll call it a night. Yeah.
Stabbed in my heart.
We're gonna come back to you next game. I got something else.
That it's just like, oh, but it's only 9:45.
Yeah, well, you got a game tomorrow too.
And I've got work.
Yeah, we both have work tomorrow.
People don't have game tomorrow.
Which game is it tomorrow? Is it the new one?
No, this is for Backblaze. It's for work.
Nice.
So yeah, if you're bored as hell, tune into the Dicening, and then later that night I'm gonna be watching the first couple hours of Death Guild. So haha.
Neat.
All right. So for surviving to your first actual destination, 3 XP.
Woohoo!
Add to that gold mine that Sally's banking up.
Nope, I spent it.
Yeah.
Woo! I spent some today too.
That's how she invaded me earlier.
All right.
Worth it. Besides, I'm going to be happy now again, so I might as well be impossible to see.
Yep.
All right. Any other business before we call it a night for the internet?
Nope. Not that I
I
know.
don't believe so.
I know. I'll find it in a minute.
All right then. Say goodnight, internet.
No.
I like how none of us went anywhere.
What?
I like how none of us went anywhere. Like we all said goodnight and then just looked down.
But we said goodnight to the internet. We didn't say goodnight to each other.